History rises like the sun o'er the land of Lanka, dispelling the darkness of myth and legend on the full moon day in the month of Pusun, in the year 247 BC, when there appeared on a rock in the north-central region of the island, Arahat Mahinda, bringing with him the gentle doctrine of Gautama the Buddha. Within a century, a great civilization was born and flourished in the fertile valley of the Malwatuoya, with its center in a city called ANURUDDHA. Under the symbolic shade of the Sri Mahabodhi, a branch of the Bo tree in Buddha Gaya, where Buddha attained enlightenment and brought to Sri Lanka within a few years after the arrival of Arahat Mahinda by his own sister, Sanghamitra. A close link was forged between state and the Buddhism. There developed a lifestyle perhaps unique in the ancient world. The forest-capped mountains rise from cultivated valleys whose green crops watered by artificial lakes that set at naught the periodical droughts to which the northern provinces are subject. This fertility was not merely for physical subsistence, but fed the spiritual life of the vast masses, sustained their dreams and maintained a faith reflected in the awesome religious monuments. Ruan Valley, or the Gold Dust Dagam, built in the 2nd century BC to mark the birth of a nation, when King Dutukamunu, hero of the epic Mahavamsa, born of the legendary Princess Vihara Mahadevi of the western region, sired by a king of the deep south, united the 3 regions under one scepter. It is one of the most beautiful monuments to a faith in the world. To the north of the sacred city of Anuradhapura stand Abeyagiri, one of the most important centers of Buddhist academia in the ancient world. It is recorded in chronicles that Abeyagiri was built by King Vattagamini Abaya, popularly known as Valagamba, somewhere between 89 and 77 BC. Covering approximately 200 hectares, Abeyagiri Vihara had all the components required by doctrine for a Buddhist temple: the image house, stupa, Bo tree, shrine or bodhigara, chapter house or poyage, residence for monks, and refectories. However, this complex grew over 5 centuries and reached its zenith in the 7th century AD. The centerpiece of the monastery, Abeyagiri Stupa, as it stands today, is the original as last renovated by Parakramabhu I, sometime in the 12th century AD. This is Jethavana, a stupa at the center of a monastic complex which stood in direct rivalry to the Abeyagiri. Built by King Mahasena, who ruled at Anuradhapura between 276 to 303 AD. The gigantic stupa, which is the focal point of the monastery complex, was the 3rd tallest monument in the world at the time of the collapse of the Roman Empire in the 4th century AD. It was surpassed only by the two tallest pyramids at Gizeh. At over 120 meters in height, it is the tallest stupa in the world, and indeed the tallest brick building ever built by man. In the words of the British civil servant Sir Emerson Tennant, who gazed upon it in awe, the materials are sufficient to raise 8,000 houses, 30 streets half a mile in length, would construct a town the size of Ipswich or Coventry. They would line an ordinary railway tunnel 20 miles long or form a wall 1 foot in thickness and 10 feet in height, reaching from London to Edinburgh. This deceptively simple monolithic Buddha statue in the Samadhi or contemplative pose is now considered a masterpiece of Buddhist art. Its classical simplicity and purity of line and form have invested it with a translucent spiritual quality, reflecting the Spartan code of Theravada Buddhism. It dates back to the 4th century AD and is referred to by the Chinese traveler Fa Hien. We may infer that the monastery complex at Jethavana housed nearly 3,000 monks at a time, going by the size of the refectory. The site, covering approximately 80 hectares and set out as a monastery, contains all the elements of a highly evolved monastic architecture. Scattered around the site are many residential complexes or colleges, integrated into a well-planned theological academy. The scale of the refectories or alms halls at both Abhayagiri and Jethavana are clear indications of the large number of residential students, scholars and other members of these monasteries, which may have been anything from 4,000 to 5,000 at any given time. This Pilimage or image house, 27 feet in height, had once upon a